その時だ。ひなでダイナマイト。
られた気が開くと何が入ってくるかわからない。
曲に言って、これはかなりひどいポッドキャストですね。
ダイナマイトダウンロード診断の庇護作。
Okay, konbanwa, everybody. Welcome to Dynamite Download Special Forbidden Door. And we are getting ready to rock and roll. We're going to talk about all cool stuff here and make our predictions. And there he is in the house. Let's once again, let's do a restart on the epic opening number we just had and check this out.
今がその時だ。ひなでダイナマイト。
られた気が開くと何が入ってくるかわからない。
曲に言って、これはかなりひどいポッドキャストですね。
ダイナマイトダウンロード診断の庇護作。
Dynamite download.
That
All right,
that popped me. I was laughing. That's pretty funny. Good stuff, mine.
And I didn't even know that. MJF knew Japanese like that either, and they even bleeped him in Japanese.
I didn't know you knew Japanese.
Oh, aso, gozaimashita, Tokyo Dojo.
Yeah, sorry for keeping everyone waiting. Friday night's not always, sunshine and rainbows, but I had to do a little work that caught me up. But I'm here. This Forbidden Door weekend show last night went all good. Thank you for filling in and joining us with the Dynamite Club Gold.
Yes.
And as I got to say, before we talk a little Forbidden Door, your boy SPD is creeping up the rankings on the draft. That's all I know.
Yes, he is. And we had a really good conversation about that last night. The rankings again. Anything could happen, and of course we it's going to be a while before we do our pick 3, but SBD second place. Anything can happen. Of course, I think it's interesting how not only the leftover takers in first place,
Right.
Bobby's crushing it. Don't sleep on Full Tilt Deb. And Courtney is still dominating. She's got to defend her collision crown. But Brent and I, don't count us out yet either. We've got a lot. Anything could happen. We might pick up 3 blue chippers. There's a lot of rumors about new people showing up and returns coming. Who knows what's going to happen?
That's right. But the main thing tonight, which I love always talking about, I got to preface this. We're going to talk about the show. We're going to talk about Forbidden Door, which is extremely stacked right now. But I'm going to make some judgment calls, but I'm not going to submit. Bingo picks are not necessarily due until 0 hour starts. So I might be sleep on my picks. If I, pick one tonight, it might change it up. But bingo cards are not locked and loaded until you say final answer yes, or you submit it to us. So we'll talk it through, and as sometimes I'll come into these preview shows with like, okay, I got my mind set up. I'm like, boom, 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 and then as we start spitballing with each other, which I love talking, the pay-per-view, I'm like, wait, actually, this would make sense. This would be fun. This if they did this. So Forbidden Door, man, stacked. Crayfish texted me and he's like, what match are you most looking forward to other than the main event? For this, me particularly, I said, you know what? I'm coming with an open mind. I just want to be surprised. I don't have that marquee match other than Ospreay versus Swerve. I don't have necessarily a Forbidden Door star that I'm like popping for, looking forward to. There's such a blend of matches going on right now. A lot of different tag matches and trios matches and things going on. There isn't one where I'm like, this feud is coming to a head where it's like, I can't wait for it. I mean, just even let's start off the bat a little bit. Let's briefly touch on the 0 hour. Like, I'm not like super excited about anything. I'm just open-minded, excited for wrestling, expecting to get blown away by things that I'm not necessarily particularly expecting to be blown away by. What about you?
Do you want to open up the screen that's got the chips on it?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got that. I added a special chip. There's going to be you, and instead of chips, though, we're going with portals because we're this forbidden door.
Yeah.
So we've got our portals here, and you'll notice that there's the SPD, there's the Mind Runner, and then there's the Dynamite Club Gold. So that's the chat. Whoever the chat unanimously or overwhelmingly the majority rules, whoever the chat decides, that'll be their pick.
Right.
But I'm with you like that, and that's the right attitude to have going into a pay-per-view, like especially like Forbidden Door. Yeah, a lot of the other pay-per-views, they're not gimmicks specifically. Where this is designed, there's going to be a lot of the wrestlers that we're either seeing for the first time or we're not that familiar of. And so it's great to have an open mind, and to be pleasantly surprised. I think that's
what I
huge
want.
advantage. Sometimes my favorite matches are the ones that I was not looking forward to or expecting. Now, there are a couple matches already that I think are going to steal the show, even though the main event's going to be incredible. There's a few others I think are going to be in contention for match of the night.
Right.
But let's talk about this trios match that just popped on for the 0 hour. You've got I think you and I agree, the best tag team, I think, in AEW right now is the Lucha Brothers. I think you could put an argument for some others, but Lucha Brothers never disappoint. They're a lot like the Bucks. They're always coming up with new stuff. Every Matt Lucha Brothers match has at least something different in it. And to me, even though I don't know much exactly, we've seen their opponents in action before, but bits and pieces. But if this is the match that kicks off the 0 hour, we're gonna see some incredible athletics, gymnastics. Mystico is incredible. But for me, I'm just gonna out the gate. I'm putting my portal over here with Cerro Negro.
I will never bet against my guys, Lucha Brothers. And you said it best. And it's no secret here that how highly we speak of them. And I 100% echo that and have said that for time and time again. Like Lucha Brothers, a healthy Lucha Brothers, there's no one – they're so similar and different in so many different ways. And so this is one of those. Like, I am not familiar with any of their opponents. And Mystico, that was what's formerly known as
He had a different name before.
WWE, right?
Yeah.
Formerly, okay. So I feel like this match will definitely get the crowd going. And it's just going to – I'll never bet against the Lucha Brothers. Is one of those just out of spite, because even though Penta and Phoenix do often take losses as singles, together they don't take many losses as a team. But it's going to be a common theme throughout this show is open mind.
Yeah.
New wrestlers, show us what they got on a pay-per-view level show. This is one of the better 0 hour cards, period. With this added, you could scratch your head and be like, why is this added? Who cares? We're here for it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, shame on you. You're going to get a surprise steak dinner.
Right.
Looks like Chad is also going with the Luchas.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and put that right there.
Formerly known as
Callisto, right? Or Calisto?
Didn't he run out and jump on a trampoline and get into the ring?
No, that was Sin Cara.
Oh, okay. That's who I'm thinking of. Okay.
That was the guy, yeah, Sin Cara. And there were multiple Sin Caras.
Yeah, okay.
I think at one point. But moving right along, looks like Dynamite Club Gold's going with that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But then we've got another 0 hour. And again, very familiar with half of each team.
Right.
I'm somewhat familiar with Tam Nakano, but Momo Watanabe, I believe she's the Black Diva or something like that. I'm not sure, but I haven't done my homework as much as I'd like to because it is kind of dropped at the last minute. But I'm thinking less about I think I'm less about them and more about the storyline, ongoing storyline with Chris Statlander and Willow. And I have a feeling that the team that wins here, they're going to lose their bracket. I have a feeling that if you're doing 50-50 booking, but again, I'm not entirely sure. Where's your gut? What's your wrestling mojo telling you?
In typical 0 hour fashion, you want the crowd to be over at all times. So I agree with you with the 50-50 booking. It's an interesting pairing with all this, as you mentioned, but obviously, the bigger storyline is Willow and Chris. I mean, this is just kind of blended in and giving us a taste of what's to come for the Willow and Chris match. So I'm gonna say Team Willow.
All right, Team Willow. SBD is saying Team Willow. Dynamite Club Gold is going with Watanabe and Snacklander. I'm split because I'm kind of here right now, and I'm just trying to think. But here's what I think. I actually think Willow's going to get the victory
right
here, but I think she's going to lose to Statlander in the Owen Hart tournament. So I think that's what we're going to go with. But again, this is one of those where I think it's going to be pretty awesome to see how they go. But yeah, we got Brett. Yeah, I agree with Courtney, Snacklander, and Tam. Yeah, Watanabe wrestled in Stardom. Yeah, we're getting a lot of the Stardom wrestlers in, and this is great because one of the things that I think I addressed this both on last night's show as well as on Spotlight. The old adage when AEW brings somebody new in, everybody's like, who? Like when they brought in like El Vikingo, Hio de Vikingo against Kenny Omega, and everybody's like, who? I'm like, Google's a thing. Go on YouTube and watch this guy. He's incredible. And so that's the thing is whenever they introduce a new wrestler, it's an opportunity for you to find a new favorite. I'd never heard of a lot of these wrestlers before until I started watching AEW. And I never heard of a lot of these wrestlers, a lot of these female wrestlers I've discovered through, like Thunder Rosa brought them on AEW Dark or Mission Pro or, the indies you fought, like Lady Frost. I've been a fan of hers for years, and she's finally getting some spotlight. So this is an opportunity to really fall in love with a new favorite wrestler.
Right.
And it's an opportunity. Of course, you never know who's going to show up through this forbidden door. There are some free agents from a certain Federation Entertainment company that might be showing up. In fact, Mercedes, we could talk about this a little bit later. Mercedes Moné hinted today in an interview that one of her closest friends and her husband actually was on Dynamite. Might be making her way to AEW, but
who's that?
A certain niece of the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, the daughter of an anvil.
I don't know we'll talk about that another time, but
yeah.
Hey, as we've been seeing reports of the strength of the women division and the wave of the women division going on and the amount of matches that have been going on over the, last week or so, including through Forbidden Door and Collision, how much spotlight and how strong the division is growing. And I know you've been, spearheading, pushing that women's division here in and here out, through thick and thin, through the rise and fall, and now like this all-time high. And this is another one of those, like the Owen Hart tournament match between Mariah May and Saraya. This is like, to me, I'm so split with this because you make great points. It's like, if Saraya is going to get her Wembley moment, this is the way to earn it. And this is pretty much might be her time too. Or I'm intrigued by the Mariah May turmoil idea of her facing her mentor in Tony Storm at Wembley as well. And I think the crowd is really getting behind Mariah. So I'm torn. I don't know yet. What's your take?
Both. Yeah. from last night's show too, we had great conversation with Courtney and Brent about a lot of this stuff, and the whole storyline of Mariah May getting to the finals, getting it, being the one to face Tony Storm, that perpetuates the storyline. Saraya, because she could have her moment, but it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of ways. First of all, there's going to be so much chaos because you've got the Outcasts and you've got Tony Storm and Mina. And is this match also designed to begin further storyline for later on with Mina when it's Tony Storm versus Mina? This could go either way. I know Brent was saying May all the way is May getting her Wembley moment, to face Tony Storm in the women's main event. But here's where I'm going with this. I think this is going to be the catalyst that starts the rift between Mariah May and Tony Storm. I actually think Saraya, and they've hinted at this already, I think Saraya is winning. Now, I know it looks like Dynamite Club Gold's going Mariah May. I think Saraya is going to get a win, but it's going to be due to some confusion, and it could be from a kerfuffle that actually starts with Tony Storm accidentally costing Mariah May her shot, and then Mariah May then having that rift, and then that plays into the match later on. But that's me. I could be way wrong. Dynamite Club Gold, I love their idea of Mariah May going all the way.
I mean, I'm so torn with this because Saraya already beat Mariah once. And so could she have her number again that quickly to revisit this? Then you have, Mariah versus Shida, Saraya versus Shida. I don't know.
Well,
I think
if I could offer one more insight why I went with Saraya. Saraya, the Outcasts are going to be jobbers if they take another loss.
Right.
All they have been, even with Anna Jay showing up, they've just been taking L's. And I think that Saraya needs a victory to somewhat legitimize her role as the leader of that group. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
Right now, I'm picking. I'll pick Saraya as of right now.
Ooh. Now, Dynamite Club Gold members, if we are wrong, you have every right to say "told you so" when Mariah May gets the victory.
But as I said, this is not my locked bingo card. This is one of those.
Yes.
I mean, we're just talking 0 hour. Let's dive into the main show.
Absolutely.
We'll try to cover as much as we can because this is a jam-packed show. And someone was like, 5 hours, 5-hour pay-per-view, no bathroom breaks. And I was like, I know, a perfect time for a bathroom break. And this isn't the match, but it's a different one.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that there's a pause button, and most pay-per-views have a pause button. They also we record it, and and again, the future is going to be streaming anyway. So if you get to a point where you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna take a nap, I'm gonna come back and finish it later or finish it tomorrow. Do that. Finish it tomorrow with a cup of coffee and a scone. I mean, it's up to you.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
What's that?
I said, don't tempt me with a good time.
Exactly. But I gotta go with the kid. I mean, I think Hechicero, they've done a good job making Hechicero seem a little bit more formidable, but this can't go any other way than MJF, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the biggest locks of the night, in my opinion. MJF, I mean, you don't need to spend too much time on it. I'm excited to see where this goes. And Hechicero, like his role with the Cage of Agony has been entertaining and good, and he's been having a recent spotlight, which I think TK in AEW does a good job at when a match is booked. They let who's going to lose kind of have a few wins under the belt leading up to it, like he has been. And so someone new, like you'll see that match booked, so it kind of builds them up just to build them down or knock them down. So MJF all the way.
Courtney, unfortunately, is in the minority. She's going with the guy on the right. That she's not a big MJF fan, but the majority rules. Dynamite Club Gold's going with MJF. I am with you. I'm excited to find out where I think they're planting the seeds for Ospreay MJF. And I know there's mixed emotions about the push Danny Garcia's getting, but
Right.
the kid's a hard worker. But I do think that I think a lot of people this is the second time we saw MJF and Ospreay kind of face to face. We
Right.
saw it before, and now I think this is another welcome back match. I don't want to say a warm up match, but this is a welcome back match. But this is again getting MJF back into the deep end of the pool, if you will.
So, not to spend too much time on the MJF topic, but it was another one of those things, Crayfish and I were texting on the side about like MJF and, his thoughts on him. And I think MJF needs to earn his way back to the top.
Yep.
Some stars automatically are there at the top. Like when you have a returning guy or girl that comes back and it's like, it feels like a top. And I feel like MJF is at a point, given the landscape of the roster, with Swerve and Ospreay and others kind of holding the workload, that MJF is going to have to earn his way back as a top guy. And that's fine with me. Like him doing non-main event matches, non-main event feuds, non-title stuff right now is perfect for the blend of an AEW television show and needed, in my opinion, because he has that special. I mean, he's a special talent for a reason, and that's he's our scumbag for a reason. So he's going to have to earn his way back to the top in the main event, in my opinion, and that's okay. And he's not needed in the main event right now, or to be the top guy. So this is, as you said, stepping stone to certain things, whether it be a Garcia or an Ospreay or whatever it may be, or even just really going in on as Team AEW, as my bold take was, him joining Team AEW versus the Elite somehow.
Yep.
I could see him feuding with the Elite, which would be fun. But
I think you're right. And you think of it like, if you think of this as more of a television series, it's like the writers have a beloved character that doesn't belong in the main plot right now. So they send him on like a side quest or some kind of like a subplot. And right now, he's dealing with Hechicero and all that. But then they're building for him to come back.
Right.
The Scissor Aces. Scissor Aces versus the Elite. Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button.
I'm not betting against my Elite, bitch.
Yeah. All right, you're going full Elite, huh?
Always. I mean, I guess not always, but they're one of my favorites, and the talent level is too high on the Elite right now. Right? I mean, they're not going to take 2 losses to the Acclaimed right now, in my opinion.
No,
but going Elite, baby.
Yeah, and the thing is this too, is the Elite have really established themselves as the top heels. They're doing such a great job. I think bringing in Tanahashi is tremendous, and I think that's a great feel good moment. But even so, I think if you're thinking from a booking standpoint, you need the Bucks to win this one. The Elite need to win this one. The Bucks need to win this one, so that there is that better feeling that the Acclaimed may win the belts back when they get their title shot.
Right.
And let's see, Dynamite Club Gold. Brent's saying Elite. Courtney says Acclaim. So let's see.
Put it in the middle.
Have a tiebreaker. I probably should have just done individuals, but let's do Dynamite Club Gold. Hey, Bobby, you have a thought? Or we could just do this.
And I'm pumped for this show.
Oh, me too. Here, we'll just do this. We'll put half on the Elite, and we'll put half on the Acclaim. There we go. All right. Apparently tonight, and Bobby and them came through, and they're, I guess, the final member of this ladder match is going to be determined tonight between AR Fox and AR Not. No, AR Fox and and I think it's AR Fox and not Mystico. It's another one of the El Phantasmo. Now, either one of those is just going to make this another. That's adding another high flyer to this crew.
This is perfect for a ladder match.
Either way, though, I think this is one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most. But I'm so excited that Leo Rush is back. I'm real excited to see what he's going to do. And looks like there's a storyline. I don't know if it's a feud or not, but a storyline with Top Flight. Mark Briscoe, I just want him to cut a promo, before he even gets in the ring and then go through with everything. Takeshita is kind of I'd love to see Takeshita, but I don't see any. I think the win here is Jack Perry. And it looks like
I'm all in for Jack Perry too.
I think we're all kind of thinking it's going to be Jack Perry. This is the way the story's going. I think we're all kind of there. It'd be nice to see Takeshita get it.
To be honest,
is there a case for anybody else though? Go ahead.
Or no, I was like, Takeshita would be great. Like when he was first announced, then Briscoe, Perry and Briscoe. Like I was okay. This is a strong pool. However, like the other three contestants are 0% convincing to me. The way, nothing against them, which individually are all great performers, including AR Fox. Like I think that guy is awesome. I thought the pairing with him with Swerve was like really cool.
Yeah,
and it's way too prematurely, in my opinion. But I feel like all the work that Christian Cage, our father, and Adam Copeland did to build up the TNT title by putting so many mid-level talent in this match, it kind of brings the title down a notch, in my opinion, on paper. But once we do have a new champ, then that will change. I would have loved to see more heavy hitters in this match, personally.
Yeah, and I've said this before. I'll just briefly say it. Mark Briscoe being the ROH world champion, it's kind of like, it would be like if Swerve with the AEW championship competed for the WWE Intercontinental title. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like,
it's interesting booking.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about Ring of Honor. It's
True.
one thing to kind of know that Ring of Honor is the minor leagues for AEW or the developmental, but to actually, you kind of flat out saying as much by doing this instead of having a title match, Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher, like I guess they did at Ring of Honor, but that could have been a match, and instead you've got him in here. I'm glad, but I love watching Mark Briscoe wrestle. I think he's going to be a wild card in this match.
Oh gosh, he'll steal the match, I think. But in Dante, it's you can't help but probably have some PTSD from what happened last time he was in the ladder match. But I think this is going to be definitely a high spot match. Would be a cool thing to open the show with this. But we'll see. I think I'm excited. Ladder match is one of my favorite gimmick matches. So
yes.
I was there live for the tag team ladder match at Dynasty and was a banger. That's what kind of started the demise of Uncle Dax with his injury and the return of Jack Perry. So it was a huge ladder match. Loved it. Next match, title for title. Huge implications here. Title for title. Very interesting. And it's one of those, Stephanie they did a fantastic job of educating us on who she is and how much of a willing and able and great competitor she is to Mercedes Moné. The video package team for AEW does fantastic work. And I'll be first honest, I had no idea I don't know her history about her, but now that they have continued week in and week out to continue to plant that seed, educate us, inform us, and all this. It's really hyping this match up. But the CEO is going to be the new belt collector.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I think it looks like Dynamite Club Gold, and I echo Brent's statement here. I want Stephanie to win because she's a phenomenal talent, but I don't see Mercedes not. This is Mercedes Moné finishing her story. That was what she was supposed to win in New Japan, and now she's finishing it. Again, this is another one of those things though where it's great that we're getting to see Stephanie Vacour get some time on AEW, but what this is they've got plans for Mercedes Moné to be exactly what she said. She's taking the TBS title on a world tour, and she's taking AEW as a global takeover, and having the New Japan title is part of that. And I think that's what we're gonna start to see Mercedes all over the globe, and I think this is the beginning of that storyline.
You're right. Yep.
I think.
I mean, is in high stakes match as that one is title for title. Mm-hmm. That is to me one of the more lock matches of the night.
Yeah, it's going to be a tremendous match, but I don't think I would be very shocked if Stephanie actually does win. I'd be happy, but very shocked. This one, what are your thoughts? This has got a lot of head scratching for me from the standpoint of I could see at least temporary, like if just being devil's advocate, because again, whenever there's a sure thing, wrestling's always taught me one thing: whenever there's a sure thing, you never know what it might go the other way. Always be prepared for the going the other way. Let me just be devil's advocate, Mr. Yes. Overbooker, for a Mina Shirakawa win. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think having Mina win it brings her into AEW a little bit more, and having Mariah cost Tony the title. You can then have Mina doesn't have to hold the title long. Then the quest can be for Mina. Mina can then drop the title in a couple months to somebody else, and then now the stakes are Mariah's going to go get the title, but then Tony Storm starts to be the All About Eve kind of thing. That's my only argument. What do I think's going to happen? I don't. Tony's keeping the title.
Tony is too good at what she's doing to lose.
Yeah.
My pick easy is Tony, but I think there could be some mutual respect after this, and hopefully you do see some kind of true team forming, and almost like this, like as we saw kind of a little taste on Dynamite, like a little bit of this like group forming. I'm all for like a group like this Love Fest group, and then eventually kind of have a breakaway. I don't know where the end of this match. I'm really curious what's going to have to happen after the match.
Yeah.
The match itself, I think, is going to deliver some really great wrestling. But I'm really curious of what storyline direction they're going to go with this one more than anything.
Between this and the TBS match, I think this one is booked to the rim. I think what the aftermath is going to determine how Tony Storm and Mariah May go forward with each other, or they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to see Mina much after this, but hopefully we will, because she's great.
Right.
But I think if there's an opportunity for a debut or return, it's in this match, where Mercedes wins the title and is celebrating, doing her little dance, and then we get a Hater hits hard music hit. But then again, everybody wants Hater to go after the world title. Maybe Hater shows up here. I don't know. I feel we need to start bringing some of these folks back now to set up for August.
I would prefer, to me, seen a little rumblings online. I would love for a surprise guest after Monet wins, and she shares my initials, 3 initials, and it's the DMD. I think the money match is DMD versus Mercedes because of the power that they can deliver on the mic. Now, Hater has a place anywhere, but I would love to see the DMD return because we already know the main event or the women's main event at All In is going to be the winner of the Owen Cup tournament, Owen Hart Cup tournament for this title. Now, if you right away have an immediate feud start to brew with the DMD returning and Mercedes Monet, that to me is a money feud for All In.
A money feud.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Hater would be great too, but I feel like the pop and the build would be stronger. It would be a stronger build because of the mic work of both ladies, in my opinion.
I think Hater, you can't. You mentioned before when we were talking about men's title, the men's title picture. Hater's one that can come back and immediately insert herself into the main title picture. Whereas I think DMD has been a secondary character for a lot. I mean, she almost became Jamie Hater's Rebel or Reba. She almost became that character to her. Where I think DMD it would be better for her to go after the TBS title and not win. I mean, I think Mercedes will keep it. Should be a good. It would be a good feud, but
it would be a good feud.
I don't think Britt Baker belongs anywhere in the main title picture at this point. I think that would take away from the everybody's chomping at the bit for Hater to come back, and I think that's where we put Jamie Hater at that point.
Okay.
All right, dude. Brian.
I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'll be back.
Yeah. All right. I'm not doing this because he's no longer in my draft, but I actually think Zack Sabre is going to win this one. I think the Orange Cassidy Goldberg run is come to an end. I think if Orange Cassidy,
I hope it is.
Now I'm not saying I don't like him. I like him. I think he's great. I mean, the kids are still dressing up as Orange Cassidy for Purim. It's just that I think there's going to be a lot of baby faces winning this night. This is a moment where I think Zach's got to come out with the win on this one. Now, this could set up whatever's going on with Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong. I know Tyson Kidd was involved somehow, and Zack Sabre's TDK 5000 whatever group was there. So I think this is the beginning of something perhaps, but I see Zack Sabre coming down with it. Looks like Courtney says up a lot. Dynamite Club Gold's with me on this one. Zack Sabre.
I kicked myself last time for, even though I said it on our show, for saying never bet against Moxley, never bet against Orange Cassidy and TK's favorites. And we've seen Zack Sabre here and there. But I mean, I agree with you, but I think I just I messed up last time. I think Orange Cassidy's going to win.
All right. Chat, they're asking a couple of things. One, it seems like chat thinks all the juice has been squeezed out of this orange now. It's no more juice.
Orange Cassidy's juice has been squeezed for months, and I've been off the Orange Cassidy train. I was hoping that there would be like the go away injury that Trent caused him, but no, he beat Trent. He beat him again and again and again and again. It's like, if you want to push and create new stars, new heels, like take one for the team. But TK loves OC, and I have loved OC in the past, but right now I'm just kind of OC. The juice has been.
You OD'd on OC.
What?
You've OD'd on OC.
I have. Too much vitamin C.
Courtney's got a really interesting take here. Do we see Don Callis family getting involved? Trent still kind of fired up. And do you think that that's going to be the next? Do you think Trent's going to continue to come in and be a thorn in Orange Cassidy's side? Brent wanted Trent to win with that feud. Courtney says his boat has sailed. Trent should have won. I think a lot of people agree, but what do you think? Do you think Callis will get involved?
I think, as my hot take was last night, I don't think he needs to get involved in 2 matches, but I think he's going to get involved in the main event.
Yep, I agree. I think so. All right, moving right along. Takagi versus Danielson. What are your thoughts?
My guy, BD, all the way, man.
Yeah.
This guy's going to the top. He's going to Wembley. He's securing his spot at Wembley. I think that now or never is with him. Time is ticking, literally and figuratively, with his plans. He's going to continue on and on and on. This is one of those, I don't know much about his opponent, and so I'm going to be open to it. Often Danielson has made his opponents look like $1 million with the way he can just work them and go. So I am no, BC, no.
Yeah, no, I think I know why Brian wants Orange Cassidy to wrestle every week and win them all. He needs to wrestle twice a week. I felt that way before until somebody took him in the draft, but I completely know where he's coming from in that. But looks like
I was gonna steal him from you on the draft, but unfortunately, someone stole him from me.
Stole him before you could steal him. Yep.
I want to steal him from you.
Well, I think it's going to be Danielson as well. I think you're right. I think here's my thought. And it's unfortunate. It's one of those things where I can't help but think meta about this. Shingo's the only Forbidden Door wrestler in the tournament. He's the only non-real AEW wrestler in the tournament, technically. So it's kind of like this is kind of his one shot. So they made it a tournament match where really it's just Bryan Danielson wanted to wrestle him. He's checking off his bucket list. So I think this is just a vehicle for Bryan Danielson to have a great match at Forbidden Door and then advance in the tournament so he can take on Pac. And I don't know. I think lose to Pac so Pac can be in the finals, but that's just my thoughts. It looks like Dynamite Club Gold is split. Maybe we got to hear from. Maybe Brian could help us out with his thoughts here. I don't know. I don't see. We've got We've got Bryant Ross saying yes, Brian. Courtney saying Takagi. I don't know. We'll just let them be undecided at this point. We'll just move on.
Yeah, that's okay.
We can always come back. All right, all right, now we got this one. Can I just say, first of all, if Jon Moxley wants to bleed every night that it makes him happy, go for it. Now, I do think that we need to getting busted open needs to be sparingly used because I think it's diminishing returns. It loses its effect when it keeps happening all the time, and I think we almost reached saturation when Hangman was drinking Swerve's blood. I think at that point, we kind of reached saturation. But I think this is going to be Moxley dropping the title to Naito. And then so he can kind of be on our TVs a little bit more and really perpetuate the storyline, because with Bryan Danielson is getting ready to leave, they got to resolve this whole Bryan Danielson Claudio mess. And I think Moxley being that absent captain, I think they need him back, and he needs to start doing some awesome stuff. He got his chance to get the title, but then now we're going to have Naito get it, and I think that's where we're going with that. What do you think?
I'm definitely not betting against Mox. I think so. Is this is the championship match?
It's for the IWGP, yes.
I feel like if he's going to lose that significant of a title belt, the world heavyweight, it should be at a different, more main event style match, in my opinion. To have one of your top guys, MVP, lose a title on a pay-per-view that unfortunately some mainstream people may not necessarily know. I feel like he was better off losing this title on New Japan television or pay-per-view, just so it protects him more in AEW fans' eyes.
Yeah, and let us know in the chat too, because I'm not familiar with how the G1 Climax works, but I think whoever the champion is, like, they're gone for like a month. Like, they got to do like wrestle a series of matches, and then the G1 Climax is like the WrestleMania at the end of these matches. I'm not as familiar with that as I probably should be, but let us know in the chat how that works. But I think if Moxley, but I see what you're saying though. Like, this isn't the main event. This could have been the main event of a Forbidden Door. It probably should have been a New Japan main event for him to lose, right? Is what you're saying?
Right. So I think that would be coming. I think he's not going to be losing the title anytime soon.
All right. Main event is something we thought was going to be at Wembley, but turns out is here instead. Wow. I think, to me, too soon. Too soon for Swerve to lose. I think we're setting up whatever Will Ospreay's redemption path is going to be after losing. But I think that it says something for everybody. Will Ospreay's undeniable. Swerve's undeniable. But it gives Swerve benefits more by winning. And it's not going to take away from Ospreay getting his first L. It actually makes Swerve even more of a champion because he's the first person to give Will Ospreay an L as an AEW competitor.
Right.
Ospreay already has the belt, everything that's going on. Will Ospreay winning doesn't do anything for it. Doesn't enhance him anything. It just makes Swerve lesser. And I think that I don't see Swerve dropping it now. Doesn't mean that we may not get something like this very soon in another pay-per-view, but I don't see this happening this weekend.
AEW's done such a great job at building this match. And, we're kind of off guard with the booking of it because, as we've said, we thought it would be much more down the line to let the two guys kind of just work on their own. And then, ultimately, like, two undefeated guys are like, okay, what's next? Swerve's my pick. And as I said, my hot take, Callis family is going to be getting involved somehow. Unfortunately, even though Ospreay has already gone through the family other than Trent, but I feel like he's going to get involved somehow. And it's going to be kind of that Kenny Omega chase where he's, trying to get vengeance on that for now. But the Swerve saga, I think this match is going to be Swerve's best match as a champ. And I'm excited for it. I'm really, really excited for this main event. And, it's Swerve's house right now. And the guy's, deserves to go into Wembley as a champ. And if he does against Pac or Danielson, I think it's going to be great. Or the wild card, and we'll see.
We'll see who. You didn't hear who my overbooking guess was for the mystery for who the Bucks have. There was a lot of talk a lot of chalk last night. Both Courtney and Brent had some great ideas. The streets are saying Hangman. Some people had some other ideas, but Brent hated my overbooking idea. So let me just tell you. All right, imagine this. Here we go against Jeff Jarrett. The Elite announced the newest member of the Elite and their entry into the tournament, the Owen Hart tournament.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
All right. And I
Oh
think
my
Brent,
gosh.
I know Courtney was dying. She almost fell out of her chair. Brent was dying for a different reason. Brent was almost throwing up. But Brent, Brent, Brent looked like I peed in his oatmeal, and I understand. I mean, keep McMahon away from AEW, But can you imagine the reaction? The reaction, in fact, it was perfect. Was Courtney and Brent had exactly the two types of reactions that you would get in the crowd if Shane O'Mac showed up as with the Elite.
It's gonna be. I want to first and foremost say that I'm a big Shane O'Mac fan.
Mhm.
I think like with the name McMahon, you have the biggest weight on your shoulders to deliver anything, especially going in the ring. And I think Shane O'Mac has, in his time in and out of the ring, everything he's done, other than when blowing out his quads and stuff,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, so his
has
dad.
done insane stuff. I think he surpassed every expectation that I have ever had of him. Loved his time in WWE. That being said, those rumors and stuff, like if he wants to come in on an exec, that would be very, very weird. But there's been stranger things in the world and life. But what I'm curious though, that wild card, if it is Hanger, the Elite fired him. Maybe they are rehired him because he paid his fines or whatever it may be. I don't know where you go with that. If it is Hanger, I think that pop. But like, if not Hanger, then who?
Yeah. Do you bring in who else is there left to return? I don't,
Yeah.
and it's good. Whoever it is, they're going to be involved with the Elite.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, Hanger could be their pick, but they could be mistaken, and that Hanger turns on the new Elite. It could be I don't think there's a debuting wrestler right now. I don't think there's a free agent that would get the pop. Like you said, it's got to be a pop. But if Courtney thinks though that, and I like this idea. This idea of course, I think it was Courtney or one of us was talking about. Think about Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett's going to be the first opponent.
Right.
Is there a available wrestler who used to be married to Karen Jarrett that is an Olympic champion that could show up? It's true. It's true.
Well,
Can
I
you
remember
imagine?
all those rumors of him joining an AEW like a year ago or something.
I was every year I wrote who's going to debut and who's the surprise person. I'd write Kurt Angle and everybody would laugh at me. Now it would be full circle. It would be completing the story for him to actually show up at Forbidden Door.
I don't know who it's going to be. Having the Elite say that they had say in that really throws a curveball into it, because to me the big money payoff is Hanger and Hangman joining to fight against the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have revisit that feud. If you have Hanger joining the Elite, then it's like Omega's kind of all by himself when he returns.
If the Vince McMahon era is truly done and Hunter really wants to repair relationships, grab some cojones and send someone like frickin' Seth Rollins, or have somebody, or I don't know if I don't know if what the reaction would be, because I know there was some questionable. Now, because he caught a lot of heat with I think he was involved with the Vince McMahon scandal stuff. I was going to say Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine Wolf said, no, actually, I'll help you. If there was going to be anybody from WWE that I truly want to come over to AEW, it's R-Truth, Ron Killings. But no, in all seriousness, though, it's going to be somebody that AEW fans are going to flip out about.
They're either going to go the safe route and that person's not going to win, or that person's going to just make it all the way to the end. You know, the only downfall is this wild card spot, which has got a lot of really fantasy booking. Like if you could have thrown in like a Christian Cage because of the affiliation with the Elite recently, but they're kind of doing their trios
Yeah.
scene for it. But if you have someone who's going to lose, that will help push Jay White to the finals. And I think Jay White would benefit a lot by making it to the finals to face Pac or Danielson in the finals. Now, if you have that wild card making it all the way, that means they're going to beat Jay White next week, and all his momentum's kind of squashed as that how he's been. So I like in the Jay White what they're doing. So maybe you do go this kind of safer route where this wild card is someone affiliated with the Elite, but then they're going to lose to Jay White.
Yeah, and there's ways to go there. I do think whoever it's going to be, you don't have, that's Wrestling 101. You don't have the mystery participant spot unless you have somebody in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if it was going to be Christian, they would have put Christian in it. They would have said they would have advertised Christian is in the tournament,
right?
For that kind of thing. So, like Cutler, okay.
No,
I don't know. Oh yeah, that would be funny if it's Cutler if he goes in there.
Right.
No, I'm pretty sure. I think the money is on. Maybe that could be our tiebreaker. Is who's going to be who's the mystery? No, because aren't they going to announce that? When did they announce that?
That's going to be at the match itself is going to be a beach break next week.
Oh, that's right. So we won't even know who that. We won't get that. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be Hangman, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean they announced beach break and it's actually in the summer, so that's good too.
Now it's WWE has had, Brown Bunny, Logan Paul. Is there anybody outside of wrestling that could show up?
I don't necessarily need a surprise guest.
Yeah,
like a new signee.
A return.
You could go like I said, you could go the route where that the person is going to lose, like, oh, you have this like really person like a Murder Hawk, like a Lance Archer, or whatever, who's somehow someone that's been affiliated with Elite somewhere that we're not really thinking of, and then they lose, which is fine, and then they could just kind of if they want to stay in the Elite. I don't know if this person is going to stay in the Elite or if it's just someone that like, oh dang it, we missed, we thought this person would be good, and they take the loss.
Yeah,
but then that puts Jeff Jarrett in the semifinals with Jay White. I don't know.
It could be whoever, and it could be somebody that loses, and then the Elite, like, you suck. We put all this money in you, and you lost to Jay White, and then that begins a feud, and they kind of, I don't know. Going to be interesting to see, but I don't know, brother. I am excited about this, but I'm trying to treat it like all of the Forbidden Doors is.
Right.
My expectations are low enough that I'm open to a lot of coolness, but I don't think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Right. Well, a lot of matches. We'll post this. We'll send this out, and you'll have till the beginning of 0 hour to submit your picks. For those of you in the Dynamite Download Draft Season 3, what's at stake here is not only your wrestlers, but a +3 points on the board if you are the winner of the most correct answers of the bingo card.
Do we want to make it like this? The ranking of everybody according to their score is the order that they pick for their next 3?
For the +3, last place to first, yes.
Okay. All right. That's what we'll do then.
We got the sympathy things for Mind Runner.
Awesome.
But
awesome. I'm excited.
That'll be after July 4th, after our vacation and all that, and then that still gives us plenty of time, a month and a half for that +3. But we'll post this. Thank you guys for joining us. Sorry for SPD running a little bit late, but a lot of fun. Can't wait to talk to you next week for Dynamite Download episode 134. as well as we'll talk about what's happening in the landscape AEW and what happened at Forbidden Door, which a lot of the landscape is going to change. So
Forbidden Door Dynamite download.
happy Friday, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Good night, everybody.